have been getting some wrong answers. Well, at least Adhesive tells you that your answer is wrong. And it's kind of difficult to figure out exactly why, because you're getting what looks to you like the correct answer. Like, for example, here's in lesson 5, activity 3, here's one of the downloads that you had to do, and then I've already entered in all the correct information here. If I compile it and I run it, it says enter radius, okay, 4. It says circumference equals that, area equals, okay, so if I go back to Chrome now, it says enter radius 4, that's what I did. Let me see right over there, right down here. Circumference 25.12, 50.24, okay, so this all looks good. All you gotta do is highlight this, Command C, go over here, and V, and then you got to run this. So I'm going to click run, and it should come out with absolutely no errors, because it looks exactly like whoa, I've got like nothing correct. I got 0 out of 4 tests pass, but I don't get it because it gave me the right answer, right? It looks just like this one. Let's run it again. Let me compile just to check here. Run 4 equals, okay, so now let's compare to exactly what we're supposed to have here. Okay, so it says we're supposed to put in exactly this. Go ahead and stop the video and see if you can figure out where I went wrong. Okay, hopefully you stopped the video and looked at this carefully, and here you notice that I have pretty close to what they want, but I don't have exactly what they want. First of all, it says enter radius, and I put in, it's supposed to be enter a radius. So what I'm going to do to save, well, some typing, I guess, but also just to save the aggravation, I'm going to highlight what they want it to say, Command C. I'm going to come over here, and enter radius should be enter a radius, and that should do it, right? So if I run it again, what do you think is going to happen? Well, let's try it. I'm going to copy, here, I should compile it and run it just to make sure here. Run, enter a radius, 4, circumference, okay, so that looks good. So let's go back here, let's copy it, highlight. Going to come back here now. Select all, delete, paste. Now I want to run it again. Okay, my run button is hidden because I have to scroll down, and I'm going to run it now. Still 0 out of 4. Okay, let's look at this again. Look at it more closely. See if you can go ahead and stop the video and see if you can guess why my code still isn't working. Go ahead and stop the video. Okay, hopefully you actually did stop the video and you realized that there's a small space here that I didn't include in my answer. I know it seems real picky, but honestly, programmers are just like that. Because you're making a program for someone else, it has to be exactly like they want it. So I'm going to do the same thing, except I'm going to highlight and copy all the way up to the integer that I want. So I'm going to Command C that. And the only reason I do that is because it's just easier than trying to type it in exactly like they want it. And if I Command V that, you notice it put in a little space right here. Same thing with area, there's a space missing. So I'm going to copy this. And V. Okay, compile, run, 4. Okay, let's see if that works. If it doesn't work, that just means I have another mistake in there somewhere. I copied that, I'm going to scroll down, whoops. Okay, let's run this now. Run. It's hard to work on these small screens here. 4 out of 4 correct. I got 100% on it. Passed, passed, passed. Everything passed. The only difference was the space and the semicolon. That was the only difference. So you got to be careful. Even though you got it right, sometimes it comes out wrong just because the output is wrong. It's a computer that's grading this, remember. And the computer can only check for the absolute correct answer. So just make sure you get it absolutely correct. Another thing that'll throw you off is if you try to get witty and instead of using double A, you type in A-R-E-A, and then down here, type in A-R-E-A. This would work also. This would work. But I'm going to guess it might not give us the right answer. Let's try it. Oh, it did give us the right answer. Sometimes, though, it doesn't. So I'm going to warn you right now that if they give you an A, they're going to want to see an A down here. I've run into this problem before, but it's obviously not something that they're checking on this one. All right, so be careful. Remember, to get it correct almost every time is just highlight, copy, and then paste it into the program that you're going to do. Another thing is you can't do, see this says Lesson 5, Activity 3, and let's say you go back over here and you go down to the next one, Activity 4, and let's say, well, I can just modify my last activity and copy and paste it in here. The problem is this is Activity 4, and what I'm copying out of is Activity 3. The Activity 4 is the one that you're going to want to work in. So you have to actually open up Activity 4 because it actually says, it actually gives the class name as 4, and it has to have that. If you haven't, if you're having troubles figuring out where to download them, usually it's at the top. Let me scroll up just a little bit before the first activity. Yep, right here. So you got these templates right here, and also there's usually these like coding activities in PDF that you can print out. And then this is another thing about submitting code. And I'm not sure they go over the copy and paste method that I just showed you, so I just wanted to make sure everybody understood how to do that. So good luck coding, everyone.